The 2022 World Endurance Championship season has come to a close, and the second year of the Hypercar class is now officially complete, and there is a lot to discuss. So in this video, we're going to do a complete review on the 2022 WEC Hypercar class. The biggest change for the 2022 championship was the introduction of a new constructor by the name of Peugeot. The French auto manufacturer would be making their debut in the new hypercar category and was expected to make their return to the 24 Hours of Le Mans for the first time since 2011. However, Peugeot announced that they would not make the first two rounds at Sebring and Spa. With Peugeot absent, this meant only 3 teams would compete in the first half of the season, these teams being Toyota, Glickenhaus, and Alpine. Toyota returned aiming to defend their 2021 title, with Glickenhaus still searching for that first hypercar win. Alpine returned in 2022, but not with that new LMDH car. That entry will make its debut in 2024. No, Alpine returned with its grandfathered LMP1 car, but they knew that this would be the final year of the A480, as the regulations did not permit it to race in 2023. Round 1 began at Sebring, with Toyota expecting to continue their pace from last season. However, it was a bit of a confusing start to the 2022 WEC season, as the BOP adjustments made Toyota surprisingly slower than their competitors, and in qualifying, they were even behind the LMP2 entries on pace. This meant the crew of the A480 Alpine started first, and led the race from pretty much start to finish. The race got red flagged due to impending weather, so Alpine grabbed their first win, with the number 8 Toyota finishing second, followed by Glickenhaus, getting their first WEC podium with the number 708 car. So Alpine and Glickenhaus's season started out great, but Toyota's was not so good. But that would all change in Belgium for round 2, as Conway, Kobayashi, and Lopez took the number 7 car to the win at Spa. And just like that, Toyota were back in the action heading into round 3. The 90th running of the historic 24 Hours of Le Mans would get underway on June 11th, 2022. The regular 4 entries were there, with the addition of a second Glickenhaus entry, but there was no sign of the Peugeot Hypercar. The French manufacturer was hoping to debut their hypercar at their home event. However, this was not to be. Peugeot unfortunately would miss Le Mans, but the French hypercar team would make their debut at the next round at Monza. Glickenhaus and Alpine wanted to take the fight to Toyota. However, the Japanese manufacturer was just too quick for them. The number 8 Toyota grabbed pole position, followed closely by the number 7 Toyota and the number 36 Alpine, with the 2 Glickenhauses starting 4th and 5th. And with that, the race began. Both Toyota and Glickenhaus got a great start, with the number 36 Alpine getting a terrible getaway, dropping down to 6th overall by the time the cars reached Tête Rouge. Later on, the number 36 car encountered many different types of issues. Le Mans was just not a great race for them. As for Glickenhaus, their race went pretty decent, especially for a small team like them. The number 708 car encountered mechanical issues, but by the end of the race, they fought back to finish 4th overall. So the number 8 Toyota grabbed the win, with the number 7 sister car taking 2nd, followed by the Le Mans only entered number 709 Glickenhaus. And because of the Alpine's difficulties at Le Mans and Toyota's victory, the number 8 Toyota was now just 3 points behind Alpine heading into Monza. Round 4 began with Glickenhaus sporting a new blue livery and took pole position in what looked to be the best chance for the small American manufacturer to take their first hypercar win. Meanwhile, the time had finally come for Peugeot's car called the 9X8 Hypercar to make its debut in the WEC. Peugeot stated that for this season, they were just here to learn and gain experience on the 9X8 Hypercar and the whole Hypercar class, and they hoped 2023 would be their year to attack their competitors, in which will be their first full season of the Hypercar class. Their first WEC race didn't go so well. The number 93 Hypercar had mechanical issues all weekend and eventually retired from the race. Up at the front, the battle for the lead was intense between Toyota, Alpine, and Glickenhaus. The seemingly fastest car on the grid, the number 708 Glickenhaus, took an early lead from pole position and stayed in first for 3 hours, until drama struck with 2 hours and 50 minutes to go, when the Glickenhaus tragically had a turbocharger failure. And more drama happened later on when the number 7 Toyota made contact with the number 36 Alpine for the lead. And because of the contact, the number 7 Toyota had a back right puncture, but eventually this was fixed and they were able to get back into a podium position to help Toyota to take a second and third at Monza. So Alpine took a commanding win, extending their championship lead off the number 8 Toyota. Meanwhile, the number 94 Peugeot unfortunately fell down to 33rd overall. So next up was the 6 hours of Fuji, and Glickenhaus announced that they would not participate at Fuji and later announced that they wouldn't race at Bahrain either. That meant Monza was the last time we saw Glickenhaus race. Meanwhile, Toyota returned to glory. The number 8 car took first at Toyota's home endurance race, and the number 7 made it a Toyota 1-2 in Japan. Peugeot seemed to have solved the previous issues they encountered at Monza, and genuinely seemed to have the pace for the podium against Alpine. Alas, both cars suffered oil leaks, which dropped them off the pace. This win for the number 8 car meant that they were now equal on points with the Alpine team heading into the final race. So it finally came time for the end of the season, round 6 at Bahrain. With Glickenhaus still not racing, it was Toyota and Peugeot as the two favorites. Over at Alpine, the BOP adjustments for this race affected their performance, and they weren't really in serious contention for the overall victory compared to the likes of Toyota. I can confidently say that Peugeot had the second fastest car at this race, and once again, they seem to have the ability to fight for the overall victory here in Bahrain. The number 93 Peugeot qualified second, and the 94 took fourth. So it was the two Toyotas on the right and the two Peugeots on the left, and with that, the lights are out. The number 93 Peugeot almost took the lead into turn 1, but the pole sitter Buemi in the number 8 Toyota just edged ahead. Peugeot held on to the podium, but then mechanical issues came back, with the number 93 car encountering gearbox problems, which made them lose the opportunity for the podium. And later on, the number 94 car encountered mechanical issues as well, a disastrous end to the French automaker's race. No such problems for Toyota, as the number 7 car took victory, and the number 8 Toyota got enough points to win the championship for the second year in a row. So that was the end to the WEC season in 2022. While it didn't start out well for Toyota in Sebring, it ended on a high at the 8 hours of Bahrain. As for Alpine, they showed they had the pace for the championship, but it wasn't meant to be compared to the hypercars on the grid. As for Glickenhaus, they had some ups and downs. The first half of the season went great. They got 2 podiums, one of which being at the Circuit de la Sarthe. But the other half of the season didn't go well. They had that turbo failure at Monza, and they couldn't attend the last 2 rounds at Fuji and Bahrain. And finally, Peugeot. They had some huge reliability issues this season. However, this was their first season in the Hypercar class. And they did say during their time in 2022, this would be a learning season for them. As it came time for Bahrain, you could see they had some big improvements in performance. They just need to iron out those reliability issues. So that's the review on the 2022 WEC Hypercar class. What did you think of this season in the Hypercar category? And are you excited for 2023 when we see a whole bunch of new manufacturers enter? Let me know down in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more updates and content on the LMDH and LMH prototypes and everything related to IMSA and the WEC, please make sure to subscribe to the left. And if you want to see another video right now, click the suggested video to the right of your screen. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.